We're going to be talking about product vision today, and I really want to run this as a workshop. And so I'm just going to do a quick introduction around product vision. And the first thing I'd like us to do is connect this to experiences we might have had in the past. And you'll see there's a little section here. And the question I'd like everyone to quickly write down 1 or 2 post-its around: have you ever taken the time to draw or write down something regarding the future for yourself, maybe some personal goals or visions, etc.? Maybe you have you ever been involved, and this is the second set of post-its here, in developing perhaps a vision for your organization or for a group of people? And third and fourth items here are, first of all, communicated or transported a vision. What do I mean by that is, have you ever had to present a vision and try and get buy-in from a group of people? And or any other similar experiences, maybe developing a mission statement or something along those lines. And so we're going to just take a moment, and I'm going to set a timer here. I'm only going to give us a very short amount of time. As I said, we've got a very full schedule. So I'm going to give us a minute just to quickly write this down, and let's go for it.
How was I able to stop the music just for myself?
If you
You have
click
a
on
loudspeaker there, you can mute
yeah,
below the timer.
No, I can't.
You can't?
Oh, no. Good.
okay. Is it still running for everyone else?
No.
No?
I think we can live without it.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm still struggling with my audio. Are we entering what we've done in the past?
Yes, that's right.
So have you established product vision statement? Is that
correct? Have you ever written or even just a general vision statement where you might have written it, or even had some ideas about the future, maybe personal goals that you've written down, anything along those lines? Correct. And then also here on the right hand side is communicating or transporting that vision to other people, or doing something similar, like perhaps maybe you developed a mission statement for a team or a group of people. Correct.
So it means we can write down like the Zukunftsbild or something we did.
Correct.
Okay.
That would have been my idea as well. But I saw you're already right.
Yeah, interesting.
Sorry, I don't know why I'm struggling so much with this board.
No worries. Is it lagging or?
No, it's just really small in the browser.
Okay, you can scroll in and out if you press on Control and your mouse wheel.
Ah.
Oh yeah, you can zoom in. Yes.
Out. Makes it much easier to navigate.
I've just got the pad.
Nice. So we've got already quite a few topics here where people have been involved in writing down mission work, been involved in vision workshops, goals for university, had to convince a company board about a product vision, some really good stuff. And concept for a music album. So we already been doing a few things here, which is great. As I said, I'm watching the time, so I'm moving along quite quickly. But this is, it's great to see that many of you already had some experience in this space, so hopefully it won't be completely new. For any of you, is the concept of, let's start with just a vision, is that completely new as a concept? No. So generally, we've had some experience. So the product vision is actually is also the same as a typical vision. Okay. Usually we write visions for organizations or teams, you know, for a company. You know, we might be starting a company and we might say, okay, well, what is the vision for this company? What is it what we're trying to achieve? And one of the famous vision statements, you know, and well, actually, it's, you know, it's a bit of a mission statement at the time, but you know, the Americans, obviously, they wanted to go to the moon, and their first mission statement was to actually start by getting someone into orbit. That was the first mission, but the overall vision for those 10-year period was to have someone on the moon by the end of the decade. It was John F. Kennedy's vision for NASA. And very similarly, this is what a product vision is about. Okay, a product vision is really about this overarching goal that you're aiming for, and it gives a reason for your product. Okay, it's not the same as your product. Never ever mix the two. Your product vision is about what you want to achieve in the world, the impact you want to have, versus the product is the means to the end. Okay, so for instance, I know it's interesting with Toys R Us back in the day. They had their vision statement was something along the lines of, you know, making children happy and putting a smile on parents' faces, something along those lines. But obviously their products were real toys to actually achieve that goal. Okay. And so this is really one of the fundamental things to remember, is the difference between the two. Okay, is that you don't mix the two, and that the powerful thing about a product vision, it becomes your North Star. You know, the global economy is constantly changing, and you might even find that your product and the way in which you try to actually achieve your vision will maybe change. You might pivot several times, you might try different products, but your overarching purpose should not change. Okay, and this is really what this product vision is about. It really is your North Star that helps you to guide you through life, even when things get tough. You know, when the going gets tough around your product and you're struggling, it helps you just to keep focused about what it is that you're actually trying to achieve, and also to keep up your motivation. Okay. And there are some very important aspects that to keep in mind, that when we're developing a product vision, we want to make sure it follows these 6 points here. These 6 points are actually develop into a checklist, which I'll talk about later. But it needs to be concise. Okay, it needs to be punchy. You want to have it in one statement, one sentence, preferably. A vision statement that exceeds one sentence and that's very convoluted is not helpful. All right, you got to think about your end users. Who are the people that you're writing this for? You know, who's it there to inspire? You want it to be very punchy and clear. It needs to be something that's shared. This is why you'll see in the activity that we're going to do today, we are going to really make sure we do this, develop the product vision together. And this is something I really recommend, is when you develop a product vision, do it with all the key stakeholders and people involved together as a workshop. Okay, so that everyone buys into it and everyone has a sense of ownership. It needs to be enduring. You don't have a product vision that you can achieve in 6 months. It needs to be something that's going to be like the 5-year to 10-year sort of journey, or even if you're really thinking big picture, maybe something you never ever can accomplish, but it still provides you a clear goal of what you're trying to achieve. Okay. Very important, inspiring. As we said, we're going to be using it to motivate people, and it should be ambitious as well. You know, we want to shoot the lights out when it comes to the product vision. We want to set a higher goal of what we want to achieve and change in the world, because that will also have an impact on what people develop and the product itself. And of course, it needs to be something that's ethical. I think that should be clear for everyone. Okay, cool. So that being said, oh, by the way, if you want to make short little notes, I've left some Post-its here. You can throw some notes down or write something down if you want to remember it, feel free. And I just want to quickly talk about how to run a workshop, and then we'll actually do a quick little product vision workshop as part of the exercise for today. And we'll finish off with some conclusions after that. But let's talk about running a workshop. Okay, so we want to talk about, it needs to be something that's, as I said, it's going to be collaborative. Okay, we want to make sure that we're going to have all the right people involved. And you know, it's super important that they are present and that they have a chance to actually share their opinions and thoughts. So we want to structure the workshop in a way that actually allows people to share their ideas. And at first, you want to start off with like a brainstorming process. So you gather as many ideas as possible and then filter them down to the key points. Okay. Because, you know, if everyone doesn't buy into it, eventually it will be useless. Okay. This vision statement. The next thing is time boxed. Make sure that you actually set up structures to make sure it's time boxed and focused, because otherwise you could spend hours and days on this topic. So you want to create a bit of pressure, keep people focused on the topic, make sure that they actually deliver accordingly, you know, within a time boxed event, and it'll help them to focus their efforts. So when it comes to facilitation, you may want to have a scrum master or a coach or someone, you know, in some companies you even have someone who's an available facilitator for such events. You know, make sure you have someone that focuses on the process and guiding people through the process versus the person leading it, which I see as the product manager. This is a person, they themselves are also involved in defining this product vision, but they're also trying to lead the discussions. Okay. So we try and separate in this workshop someone who's running the workshop and making sure that things move forward, that people stay in their time boxes. And then you have someone leading the conversation around focusing on the impact, on the actual output that you want. Okay. And that should be the product manager usually, because this person at the end of the day is usually the person who is going to own that product and be responsible for it. You know, that's why in Scrum you talk about product owners, because at the end of the day, the buck stops by them. They're responsible for making sure this product gets delivered. And at the end of the day, that constantly new value is being added to it and it's improving over time. Okay. And then finally, something is super important for me as part of your workshop. Make sure you test it. Test your product vision. I'll show you guys how to do that as part of our process. We want to make sure that at the end of the day that we do a sanity check and ensure that it really makes sense, that it is inspiring, you know, that it meets the needs of the audience and the market. And I'll show you guys how to do that. Okay. Good. So those are some key aspects around the workshop. So let's get down into the concrete practices. So let's actually create a product vision statement together as a group. And what I'd like you guys to do is the following. First thing is take a moment to read our case study. So we're going to create a product vision for this company called Vital Bake. You can read about it over here on the right-hand side. And I'm going to give you guys basically 3 minutes be enough. If you need more time, let me know. We can always make it longer, but I want you to quickly read through it, and we can then actually start on the first exercise. Okay. Cool. Go for it. Okay, my question is anyone still reading? No, I think we're good, huh? So then, cool. Then my question for all of you. So what is the product? You know, we're going to be, at the end of the day, we're going to be launching this new online store for the actual bakery. This is a new territory for them. Up until now, they've only been selling baked goods through their store, but now they actually want to have an online presence, and that's their product. And so now I want you guys to think about the following. What positive change is this product going to have? Why are we excited about it? Why should we care? You know, and how will it shape the future? And I want us to take a few moments and just brainstorm. We're just going to throw some ideas down here, okay? And just to get some thoughts, it helps us to get us thinking about the vision for this product by answering some of these key questions, okay? And then we'll move into writing down some potential statements. So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to stop the timer here and give everyone another 3 minutes. But maybe here, let's see, I might extend it. We'll see. So everyone ready? You can go for it.
Sorry, you asked the question. I was also wondering the same question. What is the product? Is it the online store as a whole, or is it the products, the baked goods, the sandwiches? What would you say?
Sorry, I realized I was muted. See it as the online store that we're going to be developing. So this product is going to be, think of it like an app or a web application that people can go online and they can buy the goods online, etc. Okay, so what's going to be now the product vision that we're going to actually want to achieve here?
Quick additional question from my side. The machines that will sell the prepared sandwiches are also newly invented, as I understood. So that's connected to the online shop, of course. But for me personally, it's hard to differentiate between, are we talking only about the online shop, or as from the point of view from a customer, the selling machines, vending machines are the product I see. You know what I mean?
I hear you. I know what you're saying. So but what I'm talking about here is really this whole service. So it's this idea that I can order online and then actually collect, or that gets delivered, you know. Okay. So see that as your product. Okay.
So we can also combine both of it. I can put aspects in what speaks for the vending machine, etc.
Correct. Correct.
Those.
Mix it, because for me, I see it as one service, and this service is going to have an impact in the world, and that's where we're going to get to. Okay. Cool. So just write down your thoughts. I'll give you some more time. Add another minute or two here, and I'll also add in a few ideas here. And if you need more post-its, you can always press Control D on an empty one, or even one that's already has something, and that will duplicate it. And then you can either remove the text, write your own, or just simply write in the new text. Yeah. I love this one. The bakery often runs out of my favorite croissants. Yes, those are the ones with the Nutella stuffed into them, hey?
The big sellers.
Funny story to tell, just quickly. My when I was in Cape Town, the last time I was in Cape Town, my wife was looking for good German bread, and she couldn't find good bread anywhere. And we actually managed to find a German bakery in Milnerton, Roland.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
really good.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, to look for it. But it was really good stuff.
I don't know if you know this, but German people love Cape Town.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's so there's a lot living there. A lot of them. Cool. So we got lots of ideas here, which is great. So what I want to ask everyone to do is just have a quick look over the items that people have written down, and as a question is, are there any post-its here that don't make sense to anyone, where you have a clarification question?
My question, should it be done from the customer perspective or from the company perspective? Why excited for myself as the bakery owner, or why
I see it as both.
for the customer?
I see it as both, because you as the person actually building this product, if you can't get excited about it, then you probably shouldn't be building it, because you're going to be spending long hours and going through a lot of sweat and tears to bring this thing to market. So I would say both. So why would the market get excited about it, and why do you get excited about it? Yeah. Okay. So I want to leave this the way it is right now, and everyone has had an opportunity now to read through the items, hopefully, and it's really just to create an to be an idea generator, to kind of get your thinking going. And what I'd like you all now to do is the next phase, and what we're going to do is I'd like you to come up with some potential statements that we could have as a product vision. Okay. And this is in this section here. You can choose any post-its you want. And just start to write down some potential statements of what the product vision can be. We're still in this ideation phase, so you can really go wild and come up with a lot of crazy ideas. And then after this, we're going to take time. We're actually going to cluster, and then we're going to start voting for them. And then we're going to start now reduce and hone the idea down to a single statement. Okay. But take a few moments now. I'll give us another 3 minutes, and I'll also give us some more post-its, hopefully. There we go. And
so each block contains a statement, a full statement.
Correct, a full statement.
Doesn't matter the color.
Doesn't matter the color. I was just having fun here. Yeah.
Is this where ChatGPT comes in?
Yeah, this is where ChatGPT could come in. But I can read, I can tell when it's ChatGPT, because I'll use it a lot myself now.
So maybe better change 1 or 2 words so
Correct.
Alex wouldn't know.
Correct. This is where I'm not going to write something down myself. I'm going to try and stay in my facilitation role.
What about the tense? Is it
Future.
aspirational? Okay.
Aspirational future tense. Yeah. We're going to become the biggest bakery in the world. We're going to make croissants for Texans. I don't know. Something like that. This is great. We've got some really good ideas here. Remember, let's try and keep it punchy and aspirational. When you read your statement, does it inspire you? Is it something where you're like, yes, I'm ready to go out and do this? Do we need some more time? We're down to the last 30 seconds. Taking that as a no. Okay, let's take a moment again for everyone to have a look at the different items. And what I'd like everyone to start doing, and I'm going to just take away the post-its that we haven't used, is I would like you to start clustering your statements. Okay, so if they're very similar to each other, you can cluster because we're going to do an exercise now where we want to vote on the actual statements. We're going to try and pick out the top 3, and then from the top 3 reduce it down to a single statement. So take a moment. Going to give us a minute.
I wasn't really done with my post-it yet, but I can't think about anything, so I will just leave it like it is with the 3 dots at the end.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine, because it still provides some input and inspiration, you know. That's fine. Okay, so take a minute. Let's quickly cluster. If you have any questions, raise your hand, and yeah, feel free to ask or share.
Do you think this statement would ever be like public facing? Then you would, like a tagline?
Absolutely. It's something that you want to be constantly communicating externally and internally. So if you are also internally, it's so important for people to use the statement as a filter. You know, often we need to make trade-offs and we have to make decisions about things. You know, in the actual product that we're developing, we might have to use, you know, subcomponent X or Y, and sometimes the product vision can even be helpful in us able to make that decision. As an example, if you think about that whole thing with NASA, you know, if they had an item for the rocket that might have been a little bit lighter back in the day, but would have only been available in the 70s, you know, that would not have been an option, as an example. So that thing about having a man on the moon by the end of the decade would have been a filter for them where they could have made that decision. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, cool. So am I right in saying we've got 3 groups here? Is this one group, and is this whole section here one group?
I think so.
Then I can actually group them. I hope this would work properly. Let's see. Okay, cool. So what I like everyone to do is, if you can see the items, what I'd like you to do now is to actually, first of all, make sure everyone understands, and then we're going to vote. And I'm going to give everyone 2 votes. And essentially, you're going to be voting for one of these one of these groupings here. Okay. Cool. With that said, then let's go for it. I'm going to start voting. And I'm only going to give us a minute because I don't think this will take that long. Only the sticky notes. Now, the challenge we have here is that you're voting essentially for the actual specific sticky notes themselves, which is not a problem because we're going to want to draw out 3 key ones from these groupings to help us create our statement. Okay, so let's see what happens then. Okay, so I'm going to start, and you should have a pop-up saying, do you want to join this voting session? And
Alex,
you can, yeah.
sorry, you need to make the voting area big. Yes.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. And essentially, you will then have the opportunity to vote for the different items. You just click at the bottom right here to vote for an item. Okay, let's start.
Alex, the grouping didn't work.
Yeah,
So we still have to
I know.
vote for every sticky note.
Correct, but I actually prefer that because I'd like us to focus on the specific ones that we may want to actually bring across.
Okay.
If that's okay, just as I was explaining. Correct. The nice thing about having the groupings is you guys can all decide which one of the statements is better reflects what that group is saying. And you can actually pick it out. Okay. Nice. Some really strong statements here. So what I'd like us to do is the following. So we can see here that top left seems to be one of the stronger contenders. And I would say that the challenge we have is that we've got two items that are voted, have 2 votes. Because what I would like to do now is I'm going to make a copy of the items that I'm just going to close this here. I'm going to make a copy of the items that got the highest votes. And we're going to use that to help formulate the final statement. I don't know why, but I can't select here all of a sudden. Someone selected the entire section.
Or it still is because you grouped them.
Yeah.
It could be, but it should at least show me the grouping then when I select. 1 second, I'm just going to reset. Mira might have just done given me some problems here. There we go. Right. Okay, so I'm going to ungroup that then. Okay. So the problem is we wanted to have the top 3, but we've got a tie for the 3rd place. So I'll just take both and put them next to each other, and we can decide. I think it was this one and this one. Oops, that's a grouping problem. Let's do that. All right. Now this is where you guys are going to have to start talking to each other. Okay. Based on these 3, and the top one obviously being this imagine any sandwich, I have a question for all of you. Are we happy with this, or would we like to reformulate this statement? Or do we like it the way it is?
For me
I like the
personally.
imagine
Okay, sorry.
word.
Go first.
Right,
Sorry.
maybe put up your hands. There's a little.
Sorry.
No worries.
It's
Go
all
for
right.
it, Anna.
For me personally, the only thing that is disturbing is anywhere you wish, because it's not the case. It's not true. Of course, the plan is to have it at every, what was it, public location, or what? Yeah, I can't remember.
Yes. At any
Yeah,
of these stores, etc.
attractional
Yeah.
spaces or
Like
whatever.
a mall or whatever.
But not like anywhere you wish. That would be like really delivering it home. So for me, that's a little
Real moonshot.
leading in the wrong direction.
So what you could do, Anna, is you could already take this and formulate it. Let's pretend we, since most of you are here in Germany, let's say we're focusing on Germany. So maybe reformulate it using Germany. Lena, you had your hand up, I saw.
Yeah, I was just thinking about the word sandwich. We just want to go with sandwich, or do we want to
Go
have
with
some
baked goods.
more?
Baked goods.
Something like that. Just
Is there a better word for baked goods that's more punchier and like one word? Oh man, because baked
There must
goods
be.
sounds a bit so lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Like a joke. It's like a
Yeah.
meme.
Yeah. Yeah. It's tricky, yeah. So imagine any. Yeah, it's tricky. What do you guys think? Has anyone got
Freshly
any
baked
ideas?
good. Freshly baked product. Oh.
Hmm.
This is where we can use ChatGPT. Who wants to jump into
Yeah.
ChatGPT?
We could go with an elegant French term, patisserie.
Or baguette. Any baguette.
Mm-mm. I think that's not elegant, but and it's also also only baguette. Yeah. Mm-mm.
I mean, pastries is quite good. That's a bit more generic.
Confectionery.
Yeah,
Too sweet. Doesn't cater for the lunchtime
market.
or the meal market. Yeah. Because I presume that the user would get their breads, like you say, baguettes. What else? Cookies, rye bread.
Yeah, so I guess we'd have to go with baked goods, to be honest. Did ChatGPT say anything to anyone?
Recommended patisserie.
Oh, okay.
Baker's wares. Baker's wares. Conjures images of fresh loaves, warm cookies, and golden crusts. Baker's wares.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's too complicated. Baker's wares.
For me, as a German person, that sounds absolutely English.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it doesn't sound
It doesn't
like
sound like
good English.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
Some German person came up with the English word.
In
for it.
Germany, we would say Backwaren, yes.
Yeah,
but
yeah, you're right.
Baker's wares, that sounds
Imagine any
like,
Backwaren. Why don't we use a bit of Denglish
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Imagine any Backwaren you might want. It just sounds like you're gonna slap someone in the face when you say Backwaren in English. It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Gourmet pastries. Yeah, that's also.
Pastries or bakery goods?
I would suggest in terms of the English, I'd say imagine any baked good.
Baked good.
No, goods.
Yeah, imagine any baked goods you might want. Yeah.
Can't have one good.
And yeah, you're right. We will make it and deliver it or not anywhere. We'll make it and deliver it anywhere in Germany, something like that. Yeah.
You don't want to say convenient locations.
Yeah, I like the idea. Convenient locations.
You can do that. The problem is that it makes it very open-ended.
We will deliver it at your convenience.
Ooh,
I
that's
suppose.
nice.
Yeah, and like someone was saying, these collection points, that's also a new part of the product offering. We want to
Yes.
make it seem exciting, like you get to visit the
Yeah,
pickup point. It should be an experience to collect and order.
it said popular tourist destinations across the city. So
Be
maybe,
careful. Yeah, be careful about say we will produce it. I'd actually recommend you stay with make it.
okay.
It's a bit more.
Yeah, sounds better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know produce is a finer word, but make it is more
Catch.
hardier. It's more like,
Yeah.
which, yeah, it's more like you have the sense that someone's
Like make
handmade
it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't like factory food, and production is factory.
We will make it and
Deliver it to, and I would suggest, I think you guys were onto something here. So deliver it to Deliver it to your local,
your next, yeah, your
your
nearest.
entertainment area. I don't know. Touristy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that convenience, convenience idea is good.
At your
One of your-
convenience.
One of your nearest
So this whole business model,
destinations. Yeah.
I'm assuming the bakery would then bake to order. So if they get so many orders in, they'll bake exactly what they need. So I think we should make the customized aspect a bit stronger.
So something
Because
around
you,
deliver it to, I need a word for something like an exciting HubSpot, you know. Like deliver it to your local, to your corner vending
Hub.
machine or something. I don't know. Something like that. You know what I mean? It's like
a community nexus.
yeah. But maybe how about this? Deliver it to your local store. Something. Deliver it to your, because that's the idea, is to have these vending machines in stores. So it's like deliver it to your local convenience store or something.
Yeah, it's also like something that you'd expect. So thinking of the French again, I think that they love having like a mom and pop kind of storefront where they pop down and buy their baguettes.
Correct. Deliver it to your local cafe.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, cafe. Yeah.
Bam.
And quick idea, in the statement it said collection point, so maybe that's an easy.
Correct, but collection point is boring. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anna?
and
Okay.
too general.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
it mean by collection point? Yeah.
Okay, so I'm looking at the time, and we are slowly running up. But I mean, this could be a good start, don't you think?
Yeah.
As a statement. So I am jumping ahead a little. Obviously, we might spend more time refining this a little based on the process. But here's the next key thing: is once you have a statement that you are happy about, is now to go to the next point. Now, this is something I took from software development, and something that I'm trying to apply everywhere in life is when you start working on something, you need to define the tests up front for success before you actually start working on it. So when you've finished working on it, you can actually reflect, go through those tests and say, have I actually reached my goal? Have I achieved what I wanted to do? And we do this in software with test-driven development, but actually it's a really good idea for the whole of life, you know? And so one of the things I've done here is I wrote down some tests for a vision statement. And it's more, I've said here generic vision because it applies to a product vision as to any vision statement. And the question I have for all of you is, if we were to go through this, is it, we could say, you know, is this future oriented? Is it inspirational? Is it concise and memorable? I think so. Is it aligned with our values? Now, obviously, we don't have a company per se, you know, we don't have a set of values that we've written down, but I think it fits well with the ethos of the company. Does it have forward-looking language? Definitely. And is it challenging yet attainable? I'd say yes. It's definitely going to be a challenge, but it could be definitely attainable. Definitely here in Germany. Motivational for stakeholders? I'd say yes. As well as guiding decision making. Definitely. So let's say, for instance, someone had an idea, hey, we could actually first set these up in post offices. If we look at the vision statement, they'd say, no, your local cafe, it's already helping you to make some decisions around where you prioritize your efforts. So I think we've got a really good statement here overall. And I do have another 2 steps here that you might also want to consider is, does this inspire your market? So now, you know, we had a general look at, is this a good vision statement in and of itself? But you might want to take 2 steps back and then ask yourselves, okay, does this really inspire the market? So if I were to read this as a customer, would it be exciting? And I'd say yes. And then, of course, does this match our organization's DNA and the real ethos of the company? Definitely, I'd say in terms of what Vital Bake is about, it fits it well. So there we have some testing processes you can have at the end to make sure that you are getting towards your result. And what I want to do now is just to wrap up for today. So what are some of the key things that I'd like you to take with you is when you're developing a product vision, make sure that it's really inspiring. You know, think big, involve everyone, keep it short and sweet, and use it to guide your decisions. And finally, test, test, test. You know, make sure that you have a set of tests that you can actually validate your product vision against. Okay. We've got 5 more minutes. What I'd like everyone to do is take a moment, and you can write down in this section here if there's anything that you learned, or you can also add some feedback if you like, and we can wrap up for today. Great. I'll also give us a short timer here.
I was about to write the same, exactly the same thing. Actually, I Googled it, and we have more than 197 other terms for baked goods, but
Holy
I
smokes.
don't
In
like it.
Germany or what?
No,
Okay.
English synonyms or related words. Yeah.
But the problem is that often that those are very specific. So it'll be like donut or croissant or, you know,
Yeah.
or bread.
It would be
etc.
interesting to compare the languages. So like the Eskimos have 500 words for snow kind of thing.
Yes. Well, I can tell you now the Germans would win because
Yeah.
the Germans make the best bread in the world. It's just a fact. It's like it's such a part of the culture here.
like pumpernickel.
Yes,
And English would use the German words.
probably. You're right. Yeah, yeah. That's true. Cool. Nice. Does anyone want to quickly just shout out their feedback that they wrote down? There might be no good English word.
I didn't
for Bakbar.
write anything down, but I think this would be a great like team building experience to
Cool.
conduct a workshop just like you've done. I feel like even with this hypothetical bakery, we all got quite excited about what we can do.
About
Good.
Nutella and croissants. Yeah, thanks, Roland. No, that's good. Cool. Excellent. No, that's great. Cool. And that you like the vision statement test? That's yeah, great. Thanks. Yeah, it's very difficult. Actually, I've been in situations where we did a vision statement and it took us the whole day, and it was brutal, tiring, you know, and you really need to it's so important to have a process where you really try and focus everyone and try and get to a result as quickly as possible, because otherwise you get lost in such long discussions and you go around in circles and it is painful. It really can become very painful. Yeah.
And you
Okay.
change one word, and then the other word doesn't match anymore. And then
Yes.
you go through every word. Yeah.
And it goes on and on. So yeah, be very careful of that. Okay. So thank you everyone for your feedback. And
Thank you.
I hope this was a fun exercise for everyone. And hopefully we'll be doing more formats like this in the future. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you all. We'll be doing a lean coffee next week around this topic. And any other topics or questions you might have, you can bring those along. And we look forward to seeing you there. Yes. Thanks, everyone.